you don't need millions of views. You don't need even tens of thousands of views or followers, right?
Hey, welcome to the Checkpoint Podcast, where we help you set and reach new milestones in your service business. I'm your host, Matthew Armstrong, and on this episode, we're talking about how to leverage social media to actually get you more leads. I'm here with Matt Allen, Check's Director of Education. All right, true or false? You can grow your business without spending money on advertising.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
True. Absolutely true. And today we're going to help you choose the right platform, install best practices, and show you the value behind using social media to build your business organically, which is going to position you as an industry authority in your market. Now, these are some of the same tips that we use to build our TikTok following to over 150,000 followers. So real quick, story. I was at the Huge convention this past weekend, and I spent some time with an awesome couple. They're in Utah. They run a window cleaning and permanent holiday lighting company. They've been doing it for a few years. I think they said that they're doing over $500,000 in sales. And it really was an impressive operation that they had going. The guy showed me some of their videos of the finished product, and I've never heard of permanent holiday lighting. When they said permanent holiday lighting, I was like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I have my Christmas lights up on my house, and it's July. And
I don't think that's what they mean by
no. It turned out it wasn't what they meant. But the stuff that they install is so sick because you see chasing lights all over the house, synchronized. You can control it from your phone, and all this pretty epic stuff. And so because of how visually appealing it was, I asked, have y'all ever considered using social media marketing to actually boost the sales of your business? And he said that they were semi-active, but that they were super inconsistent, very inconsistent. They may post 1 month and wait another month to post again. But that's whenever I started diving into trying to convince them that it's time to start using social media. And by the time I was done, they kind of looked at each other and they said, this is what that guy a city over is doing. And he's been doing it for less time than them, but he was doing over $1 million in sales compared to their 500,000 to 600,000 in sales. And so, I know from experience, because I've been a home service operator and content creator at the same time. And I will admit, this is difficult, and it can even be nerve-wracking to put yourself out there and record yourself and talk and try to get your brand out there. But it can also be the strategy that really helps set your business apart from the rest of the competition. So before we jump in, this podcast is brought to you by Check. Check is a business management app built to help you organize and automate your small service business so you can leave your admin in the field, because admin sucks. And if you run a small or solo service business, then go register for Check for free today by hitting the link in the show notes, or go to hellocheck.co and click download. So Check is the best and most affordable way to manage your home service business. And plus, it's going to help you look super professional, which who does not want that? So you can start with a 14-day free trial with no credit card required. So there's absolutely no risk. Go try it today.
Go try it.
No big deal. All right. So jumping right in.
Yeah.
We got a few things that we want to talk about, but I think first things first, what platform do people use?
Sure. I mean, it's kind
Let's break them down. Let's talk.
Yeah, right. There's a lot. I mean, we've got YouTube, and now they've got YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram. There's Instagram Reels now, Stories. You've got Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter,
Snapchat. MySpace.
I had a MySpace. I think I just dated myself.
No, I did too. Who was in your top 8? Anyways, people don't.
Yeah,
people don't know what we're talking about. All right,
my wife. She was in my top 8. There we go.
That's good. Okay.
All right. So the choices can feel super overwhelming, right? But what I'm about to give you is opinion. This isn't fact, but this is what we have found in our research to work best for local businesses.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Instagram and Facebook, I think, are your best bet.
Yeah, I agree.
For a couple of reasons. So number one, you've got people who are in, like, when we break social platforms down by like age groups, homeowners tend to be in the like more like older generation. The people who have money to spend on services tend to be older and further along in their careers, and those folks are generally on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Number two, Facebook and Instagram provide better, like, I would call localization, better tools to like target your area of service. In your experience, Matthew, too, because we're coming from a position where we've used TikTok.
Yeah.
Why should so why can't somebody just replicate what we've done and use TikTok?
Yeah. Obviously, like we have over 150,000 followers on TikTok, and it's great for us because TikTok allowed us to get out to the masses quickly. TikTok and arguably YouTube Shorts are two of the best ways to get a product or service that is not geographically limited out to the public. Right. But whenever you're trying to build a brand and you're trying to really engage your followers and people who are around you, I completely agree with Matt that Instagram and Facebook are going to be your best bet. And so honestly, unless you're trying to become a major influencer with a localized business, TikTok might not be your best use of energy. Watch us get dinged by TikTok's algorithm for saying that.
Yeah, right. You're gonna spend a lot of energy.
Yes.
Putting out stuff on platforms, and you will get followers who think it's cool, but they're not going to be from your community.
Yeah.
Whereas with Facebook and Instagram, you can tag things in your community.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's well said. So the way that I now if you don't run a lawn care service business and you happen upon this, and maybe you are not as geographically limited, then you want to pick the place where your ideal customer is hanging out and where they're giving their attention towards. So that's just another filter to put it through. But let's talk about some best practices. So we now know that like with localized home service businesses, Facebook, Instagram is going to be one of the probably your best bet, at least right now. But as far as best practices, let's give some like high level tips and things to always keep in mind.
Yeah. So kind of we'll get into some like nitty gritty tactics.
Yeah.
But the number one thing, and this is probably the most important thing for social media, is add value.
Yeah.
You're going to see a lot of your competitors and other folks out there who all they do on social media is promote themselves, and it's always a sales pitch. And I don't know if you're the same way. I scroll past them, I unfollow them. I'm not as interested in that. But when somebody takes the time to teach me something, show me a cool picture, entertain me, inform me about something, then I am more interested in what they have to say. So that's going to be the first one. Consistency. Speak about consistency because you're kind of leading the charge on TikTok.
Yeah. So I remember, fun fact, I will tell you that, so Matt was the one who sold me on how powerful content can be. And so we then went and kind of fleshed out how we are going to approach a content strategy for Check. And then whenever we chose TikTok, I was responsible for getting the footage, scripting stuff out because I wanted it to be like highly produced, super valuable content with appealing visual imagery. And so I had to like film all that stuff. I scripted it, I edited it, and I posted it, and I engaged with people in the comments and stuff like that. And so I did that I did it every weekday for about 4 months straight, basically not missing a day. And on the kickoff week, I did 3 videos the first day, 3 the second day, 4 the third day, 4 the fourth day, 5 the fifth day, and it was a ramp up. And in that first week, we had our first 1 million plus view TikTok. We got over 20,000 followers, and it was a good big week. But even that first video got into, I think, 40, 50,000 views. And I didn't know that wasn't, that wasn't typical. But back to the point of consistency, it is extremely hard to do that day in and day out, especially how clunky it was up front. But once I started getting in a rhythm on that, it became significantly easier. But there's really no easy way around that learning curve and doing something you aren't used to yet.
Yeah, and I consistency. When we say consistency, I think it's fair to say once a day at minimum, and that might feel overwhelming.
Yeah, it did for me,
right?
For sure.
You all in the service industry are at an advantage in the sense of what you do has a lot of opportunity for amazing before and after pictures.
So
right?
True.
Like whether it's grass or a grungy sidewalk that you're cleaning, nasty windows.
Yes. Pressure washing, that pink solution that goes all over the house.
So cool.
Love that.
And then the other thing I want to say is, and we didn't really plan on this, but like the number of views you're getting, the number of followers, don't get caught up in that. Sometimes we call them like vanity metrics.
Yeah.
Because you're looking for like a very local client, like you don't need millions of views. You don't need even tens of thousands of views or followers, right? Like you need to be making an impact in your very, very local community, and everybody else outside of that is just going to be noise and a distraction. So, when you hear us talk about, oh, we had something go viral, at the end of the day, that was, a million views, but 99% of the people watching that were not even people who were interested in our product, right?
That's right.
So it was good,
yeah.
But on the same time, at the end of the day, I would rather have 100 views of people who are, 100 people who need pressure washing and you provide pressure washing,
yeah,
versus like a million views and only one person needs pressure washing, right? So it's kind of pros and cons on that, but again, to the point of like consistency, to where you are regularly showing up, because you're not going to show up every time. If somebody follows you, that's not a guarantee that they're going to see everything you post. And so if you're posting once a day, there's a better chance that they'll see you maybe like once a week. Does that make sense?
That's very true. Okay, The third point. So we got, first of all, we want to add value. Second of all, we want to stay consistent. And then third, we'd say to engage the people who are interacting with you. Now, I know that whenever on that first week, whenever I was posting all those TikToks and I was getting overwhelmed by comments, and I loved it because it meant that we were reaching people. But on the other hand, literally I was trying to respond to every comment, and it got to a point where my thumbs started to like lock up, and I was like, this is going to be a problem. And so I was trying to figure out how to do it on the computer. It was clunky and stuff like that. And so I just like fought through and was trying to do my best to engage with people. But a few things that engaging with your users portrays is, number one, availability. It is so cool whenever a creator, like even you as a home service provider, if someone comments like, way to go, that looks awesome, for you to just respond and say, hey, thanks so much. It just makes them feel like you are available and accessible. And if we can just say, acknowledge what what a lot of people think about any home service business, it's really hard to get a hold of us because we're out in the field, we're hot, sweaty, we're on the job, we're doing those things. And so whenever there's an outlet where we can be a little more available, that's a good thing. And then I think the other piece is just plain and simple. It feels good to the people who are following you. Like it just straight up feels good. It's not just the accessibility piece. It's they see me, they know that I exist, And I think that's a good feeling for people who are wanting to interact with who are interacting with your content. So it is a bit of a piece of like, you want to steward the people who you have following you well, because if you're just kind of blowing them off and you're like, yeah, I got like 100 followers or something like that, and you're big leaguing all of them and you're like not responding or interacting with them, that's not necessarily going to draw more people. But if some new people are coming in, looking at your content and seeing like, man, this person's actually interacting with people in the comments, that's a big plus in your column.
Yeah, and I would say too, when I think back on some wins that I've had with social media, posting stuff in a group, like somebody would have said, like this was a local group, and again, this is great about Facebook. There are some like local groups, and this person was looking for lawn care, and so I said, hey, I provide lawn care, blah, blah, blah. And I gave a few tips about, hey, this is the right season, again, trying to add value to the conversation. I don't think ever once did the original person asking a question ever called me.
Nice.
It was the back and forth in the comments of people asking me questions that then led to jobs that I was able to close on, right?
Yeah.
So like if I had just like ignored the back and forth, I would have lost that on jobs, right?
Yeah.
So in the comments is where you can also get new leads and land jobs.
That's a really good point. Okay, we have a list of like nitty-gritty tactics, just like weed dirt level stuff. So why don't you rapid fire some of these?
Rapid fire.
Yeah.
Before I get into the rapid fire.
Yes.
If you're on a mower or if you're pressure washing, listening to this, driving down the car, don't worry about writing all these down.
Yes.
So we will give you a link in the description or the show notes to our blog where we go into these in a little more detail. So be safe out there. Don't write and drive.
So true.
All right. So nitty gritty tactics. Create a business account and don't use your personal account. So that way your crazy uncle posts don't show up on your business. That's going to be bad.
Pause.
You have a story.
Well, not necessarily a story. I'm just laughing, thinking of like, I love to post memes on my story, but it's just not professional. It's like,
right.
And some people, let's just be honest, just post absolute crazy stuff. And so you don't want to see them seeing you're like, look at my before and after this beautiful lawn or this beautiful driveway I just pressure wash, and then it's just something absolutely off the wall. So it just makes me laugh.
Keep it professional.
Keep it professional.
Yep.
Okay.
Connect with your existing clients, customers, and followers.
Yeah.
Post regularly. Once a day is not too much. Use a platform that your clients are using regularly. We already talked about this. Focus on one main platform and don't spread yourself thin.
It's really good.
80-20 rule. What I mean is 80% of your posts need to be providing value so that when you get to the point of trying to sell your services, which is that 20%, people are ready to hear it. So 80-20 rule, for every 10 posts, only 2 are salesy and 8 are just providing value, showing cool pictures.
Yeah.
Use video as much as possible. 20, 30-second videos are super popular right now, and there's no problem jumping on that train. Use before and after photos. You guys have great before and after photos. Keep the content high quality. I'm going to say use spell check.
Yep.
Use it. It keeps it professional. And then use it. The newer phones are awesome. The photography, the video is great. So make sure your phone is pretty new and you'll have great video.
Yeah. Those are awesome. Those are awesome things. Okay, before we keep going, I want to give a quick plug for the Check app. The Check app automates your routine admin tasks so that all your admin can be done before you get home. That's right. You go home, you shower off, you kick back on the couch. No more pulling out your laptop and sending invoices. That is so 2020. And 2020 sucked, okay? So reduce stress, spend less time on admin, and more time actually earning money with Check. Here's a review from one of our real users, Cowboy Cut. Here we go. Let's listen to this. I've had my lawn care business for 15 years. I was using another app for quite a while that all of a sudden just disappeared and could not find anymore, and spent the last 2 years looking for something to do my scheduling, my client list, and also keep up with my revenue and expenses. Check is the easiest schedule app I've ever encountered. Everything can be done with just a touch of a button. Their support team is great, on the ball to get you fixed and running if something does happen. Thank you, Check and crew, for this app making my job a lot easier. That's a 5-star review right there, and that's what I'm talking about.
All right.
So go take a look at Check. You can download it on our website, hellocheck.co, or go to the App Store, search Check, usually number 2. So let's get back to the episode. All right, so we've already talked about what platform we're going to choose, some best practices, and now kind of want to sell them on the benefits. Like let's talk about some of the benefits of doing this, because it's a lot of work, and if there's not a reward on the other side of all this work, we're not going to tell them to do it. But obviously, we believe in this stuff. So let's get into some of the benefits.
All right. So I mean, I think the coolest benefits of all of this is that as people are trying to pick a professional to hire, it's a major expense for them a lot of times, whether even if it's just like a regular, you're committing to get your grass cut once a week, or you're committing several $1,000s to have your house washed. It's usually a major expense, and they want to make sure that there's somebody they can trust.
That's right.
If you are using social media to show off your work, then they have, the proof is in the pudding, is the saying, right? They can look at your work and see that you are regularly putting good work up.
That's right.
Sometimes you'll look at somebody's social media and they'll have a post from like 3 years ago and there was some like epic job that they did. And that's, yes, you did one job. That was great. But if you are posting like daily, regularly, your clients are going to see that you are active, that you're responsive. They'll look and see the comments in there and see that you are on top of it. So it allows you to show who you are, what kind of person you are, and they're going to connect with you more.
Yeah.
Talk about like even showing your face, right? Video. Yeah. A personal connection to somebody is gonna sell your work, sell yourself more than your competitors.
Yeah. One thing I'll say about that is like some people don't want to show their face on there, and it helps. It helps to show your face. But I'll also say posting pictures of your before and after work is better than nothing. Right. And so even a lot of our first TikToks, people didn't see my face, but I was adding so much value through these scripts, and it was so fun to look at because I filmed it in a different way than anyone had ever seen before, that's what helped to build our following. People were getting value. People enjoyed looking at the stuff. And so, I think that something is better than nothing, but definitely showing your face is a good idea. The other thing that I would add, it's along the same lines of what you're talking about, is that if people see you doing something consistently enough, in their mind, you're going to be the absolute authority on that subject matter. So if they see you pressure washing, they're going to think this is the professional here. And whenever I need pressure washing, I'm going to go to that person because they're top of mind. Same with any of these services. And so that is I think that is one of the biggest benefits, is becoming the perceived authority in your market for a specific service.
Right. If you're going to spend all this money on your house for the service, you want somebody who's good.
Yes.
And you can see when you look at somebody's social media account, if they're consistently posting awesome stuff, you can say, well, I can trust that person, right?
That's right.
And if they can trust the quality of work, they're much more willing to pay you and pay that premium, pay that higher dollar that you want to charge, rather than just kind of being lost and being kind of the cheaper service. You want to be a premium provider and be able to command higher prices. At least I think we all do.
Sign me up.
More money in the pocket.
That's right. Okay, talk to us about, first of all, tell us what a network effect is, and then talk to us about why social media allows for that, because paid ads do not allow for any sort of network effect.
No.
So talk to us about that.
So network effect is the idea that something is shareable.
Yes.
Right? And so what I think is so awesome about social media is that somebody can see a post and share it and tag their friend, tag somebody they know who might need that service, and it pops up in their feed. when a friend shares something to one of their friends, it 100% shows up on their feed. Your stuff, if somebody's following you, you're going to be posting, and it may or may not show up. But when you tag somebody and put their name on it, it shows up. And so the idea is, and this is why I said, like, try to become friends with your clients, and ask them if you can tag them on their before and after pictures.
Yeah.
So, okay, imagine you just pressure wash somebody's house. Their driveway is looking amazing. All the green and gross stuff is off the side of their house. It looks good. They want to show off.
Yeah.
If you tag them on social media, it shows up in their feed, and it allows them to just say share.
Yeah.
And boom, now that goes out to their friends.
All their friends.
Right? So, and ideally, in most cases, their connections and their friends are within the community and are all potential clients. You can't get that on paid ads.
Nope.
You can't get that on a mailer. You can't get that on a billboard. Social media is the place where that happens.
That's right. And so hope you can tell that. And actually, I want to add one more thing.
Sure.
That you said a while back that has stuck with me is that whenever you spend $1 on ads, that $1 is gone.
The $1's gone.
But whenever you spend some energy putting content out there, that content stays forever.
Forever.
So that's the powerful thing about content is that you can literally, you can spend effort, and a lot of dollars on ads, but it's going to go away whenever those things are spent. But you put out content and it's gonna stay. There's staying power, and you can continue to reuse that kind of stuff over and over and over again. Okay, so what's the one thing that we want our listeners to take away from this episode?
The number one thing is just start.
Yeah.
Right. There's an old saying that says the best time to plant a tree was 25 years ago. The second best time is today. Right. So the best time to have started social media would have been whenever you started your business. The second best time is today.
Yeah.
So to make things easier on y'all, we have put together some social media ideas for posts. We put together, it's not a calendar, but it's a little like posting repetition of like what to post on what day with the idea that you're posting every day. So we've broken it down for you. We've given you some ideas for content. So all you have to do is head over to our blog. I'll put the link down in the description or the show notes so that you can get ready and start posting today.
That's awesome. All right. So I want y'all to remember that here at Check, we're here to champion you, the operator. So if you have gotten any sort of value, any tips or tricks from this podcast, we would ask you to rate and review us wherever you get your podcast, and make sure to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. And then also, if you have any questions or ideas for what you would like for us to cover in this podcast, you can email us at podcast@hellocheck.co or join our Discord community by following the link below.